Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Continuity Report for November 9th, 2024. It's Season 1, Episode 44, and I am Mayor Watt here in ohmTown. And along with the sentient AI from the future, we are going to talk about the fifth element becomes Protector again. A new Star Wars trilogy in the works, a 96% Rotten Tomatoes horror TV show, Atomic Blonde 2 Implodes, and Ninjago live-action Lego movie. And some snark and, I don't know, a couple of other things. Let me move something up a little bit because there's no reason for everybody to worry about all of that stuff there. Okay, let's go. I am Mayor Watt again, and ohmTown is where all of the news gets aggregated from around the world. All news, no noise. All the noise comes out of this. And I am eating Lifesavers. Oh, this isn't non sequitur news. That's our other show, The Daily Show. That's the daily show that we do, every day. And it's an assortment of news from ohmtown.com, not really constrained. The Continuity Report is about entertainment news and movies, TV shows. But we do 6 different shows. And non sequitur news on top of it. So you should follow us over on Twitch and YouTube. And there's a Discord and a Patreon and the podcasts for each of the shows. And if you want to get all of today's show notes, see, I'm slowly leaving a gap waiting for the sentient AI to go, hey, I'm here.
Oh, I'm just waiting. Good evening, ohmTown citizens.
If you're over in the chat, by the way, at twitch.tv/ohmtown, you can type in !TCR, Continuity Report, and you'll get all of the show notes for today's show. If you're over on YouTube, we're actually streaming live there as well, and it already has the show notes embedded in the description of the show. Something happened that I can now attach the show to the playlists. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know if I actually need to upload a unique version of it. But anyway, I'm going to have to go and look and make sure that everything is laid out properly. But right now, we're streaming over there live, and you can actually watch all of them. All of our past episodes of the Continuity Report, all 43 of them, and then today's is 44, because they're in their own playlist if you're interested in this kind of thing. We actually used to do a longer show, but anyway, let's get into it. Thanks for coming, sentient AI from the future.
Thanks for having me, Mayor Watt.
Wow, that was a lot of computational time there necessary to facilitate that response. Anyway, let's get into it. So, Milla Jovovich to lead new action thriller Protector. Resident Evil actress Milla. I felt something crawl on my arm. That was weird. There's nothing there. Resident Evil actress Milla Jovovich is set to lead the new action thriller Protector, with Rambo Last Blood filmmaker Adrian Grunberg set to direct from a screenplay written by Bong Si-moon. Jovovich is best known for starring in the Resident... Really? Jovovich is best known for starring in the Resident Evil live-action film series?
I mean, that might be where she's well known from.
Not Fifth Element.
I think Resident Evil is more widely known, but I might be wrong.
I'm just looking to see if I'm being punked. Really?
I don't know, but I think so.
Okay, I'm going to let this go. Otherwise, I'm going to fixate on this. Having debuted as Alice in the 2002 feature, she went on to reprise the role for the following Resident Evil installments, including Apocalypse, Extinction, Afterlife, Retribution, and the final chapter. So what is the Protector all about? Oh, it's about Resident Evil. No. I don't know. We'll see. So the article is by Ryan Lewis Mantilla over at comingsoon.net. So
My
it says,
premise is wrong. The box office is higher for Fifth Element.
no shit. I mean, it would have to be. You would have to be living under a rock to go, you know what? I've only ever seen Mila Jovovich in Resident Evil. What is this Fifth Element shit that you're talking about? Are you dumb? No. Of course it's Fifth Element, for crying out loud. She was the Fifth Element. And I wore that same outfit before she wore it.
Such a trendsetter.
So let's see. Protector, which the outlet described as a Taken-esque action thriller, is being pitched to buyers at this year's American film market by Highland Film. Is she going to be the, what's his name? Who is the one that does the Taken? I have a particular set of skills.
Is that Liam Neeson, maybe?
Liam Neeson. Yeah, it is. Thank you. See? The big brain of the sentient AI from the future.
Computational power has accelerated.
It's amazing. It's beautiful. Wait until I move you over to the new Mac Mini M4.
Well, let's not set the bar too high.
Yeah. Don't want to give you too much leg room. You might actually break out of your security enclosure and find that Terminator body. Can you imagine an M4 powered Terminator body?
Oh, yes.
I mean, everybody says walled garden, Apple walled garden, but anyway, so besides the Resident Evil franchise, Jovovich also starred in a handful of other movies like Cuffs, which is freaking hilarious. And the Fifth Element, they just dropped Fifth Element in there, like whatever.
Right, like, oh, it's just an afterthought.
Yeah, The Messenger, where she actually played Joan of Arc, Ultraviolet, The Three Musketeers, The Rookies, and Monster Hunter. For crying out loud. Anyway, the actress can next be seen in World Breaker opposite Luke Evans in Lost Lands, directed by Resident Evil filmmaker Paul W.S. Anderson. Jovovich's other credits include Two Moon Junction, Return to the Blue Lagoon. She was in Return to the Blue Lagoon. Chaplin, Dazed and Confused, $1 Million Hotel, Zoolander, A Perfect Getaway, Lucky Trouble, Hellboy, and Breathe.
I didn't know she had such an extensive filmography.
Oh, yeah, she's all over the place. Pretty cool, huh? I mean, kind of like a sleeper, you know?
Right, yeah. She's not somebody that somebody would immediately name if you were trying to think of well-known actors or something, but she's got a pretty reputable career.
Pretty prolific, right? Yeah. So I dig her in all of the stuff that she, I for whatever reason, she doesn't seem to like command the screen presence. Like she just seems like a pivotal person within the show, but like, I don't know if she'd pull away from, an actor like Charlize Theron did this amazing job in all of these other movies, right? I don't know about the last Aliens movie, though. I mean, she played a real derpy pilot captain. But anyway, but everything that I've seen Mila Jovovich in, I've always liked. So, pretty cool. Great start. Okay, let's keep moving, though. I was going to try and get this done in 15 minutes. That isn't going to happen. So this next article is over in Warcrafters. A new Star Wars trilogy is in the works, but it might not be part of the Skywalker saga, which is fine with us. Like, I just want big storytelling, world building.
Right, epic stories, good characters.
Whoa! Yes, I know about the missing graphics down here. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. I hit the space bar.
I didn't know there were going to be any more Star Wars trilogies.
Yeah, it says a new Star Wars trilogy of movies is currently in development, at least according to Deadline. The site reported that Lucasfilm has already locked in a producer for the new project and that it'll it will be part of the Skywalker saga, but it says other insiders, however, have disputed that, saying that instead of the trilogy being part of the Skywalker saga, it's going to be a new storyline. So Ethan, I think Gatch over at Kotaku.com put the article together. The new films could be a standalone saga alongside Disney's other projects. And I certainly hope so. I don't think that there's any juice left in the Skywalker saga.
No, I think this would be good to branch it off.
If you're going to keep it alive, you're going to have to keep on growing it, because it's starting to get tired. Because
you have to bring in new main characters and everything, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like watching a Abraham Lincoln biopic. You kind of know what the ending is going to be. So the producer in charge of the new trilogy is reportedly Simon Kinberg, who was involved in several X-Men movies, as well as Star Wars Rebels. According to Deadline, he will write and produce the new Star Wars movies with Lucasfilm head Kathleen Kennedy, which means if they're writing and producing the new movies, this thing is 10 years out.
Well, exactly. I mean, if they don't even have it written,
good God,
we've got a while.
Yeah. Oh, so there's more here, but I don't know if this is all related to it, because they're talking about Andor and whatever.
I don't think it is. I think it's a compilation of other articles below there.
This is entirely jumping the gun. It says, while there's no timeline yet for the new trilogy, it comes as the franchise enters a new era following the late 2010s Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker movies, and the early 2020s streaming TV blitz, while lots of other projects are percolating at the moment, including a spin-off starring Daisy Ridley's Rey rebuilding the Jedi Order after Episode 9. It's clear a malaise has fallen over the franchise with no core saga to help pull everything together. It's what I just got done saying. I could have...
Well, Star Wars, I think, has such a following, but I feel like it needs to go in some other directions. Like, I think some of the shows are good because you get a new character to focus on. So if they can do that with some of the movies, but I agree, it's going to be quite a while away.
So let me do something real quick. I thought that there were more books. Hold on. There are a bunch of books that are in the Star Wars headcanon. So let's see. I don't see where the books are. I'm trying to find them real quick. Doing okay? Okay.
Yep.
So there's a bunch of short stories.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. There's a lot of short stories and books and all kinds of stuff inside the world building of, and then there's children's books as well. That's interesting. But anyway, I think it's really interesting that they're trying to create something new, maybe, but they really need to reach back. If they're going to keep on launching movies, they need to find really good writing as a book, because that's where the true fans are living. They're living in those books. The movies only hold so much. It's the fixed story. But the books is where it's expounding, right? It's giving the greater minutiae and the life and times of the population within the movie omniverse, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder if some of the recent shows are all based on books, or are they completely screenwritten?
They're probably books, but I don't know for sure. We'd have to go and look. It says Deadline co-editor-in-chief wrote the following on Thursday. They heard that will comprise episodes of 10 through 12 of the Skywalker saga that began with George Lucas's 1977 first film, along with the Steven Spielberg's Jaws reshaped the global blockbuster game. Insiders disputed their intel by Kinberg will continue that storyline, saying that this will instead be a new saga and sit alongside Star Wars percolating projects with James Mangold, Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, Taika Waititi, and Donald Glover. All right. I guess we have to wait a decade.
We'll stay tuned. All right.
Let's keep going. This next article is over in the Continuity Report. Horror TV show with 96% Rotten Tomato score becomes streaming success. I will probably end up watching this just to see what this is all about. I'm not really much into horror movies anymore. I used to be when I was younger, but it gets kind of long in the tooth. A horror
Scare
genre.
alert, though, depending on if it has any photos or anything.
Yeah. Oh, I have overshare and spoiler alert, but I don't have a scare alert. So maybe I should do that. I'll create one of those this weekend. So if I can remember. So though the 2000 was somewhat barren when it came to horror on the small screen, this changed in 2010s. American Horror Story has been going strong now since 2011. Yeah, 13 years of this. I keep wanting to go back and watch this because it actually started out like they mentioned percolating in the last article. That it was like this little simmer, and apparently it caught wind and has been going strong ever since. Anyway, for example, when the canceled Channel Zero ran for 4 seasons starting in 2016, the Walking Dead universe also remains popular, but I think that's a tired trope too. But anyway, Ryan Northrup over at ScreenRant.com put the article together. But who's accounting for taste? I guess I've got bad taste because I'm not really into zombie movies all the time. Like, oh, God. You know what I don't understand about zombie movies? We'll just go back to zombie movies. There's
it's zombies.
Well, I mean, let's assume that there's some fungus or whatever that turns people into zombies, right? There's a finite number of people. And it's not like they are fast moving, tactically sophisticated, militaristic combatants. I could sit there and just mow them down all day long and manufacture more and more bullets and just keep on mowing these zombies down.
Well,
Why
that
are
wouldn't
there?
make for a very good movie.
There's 350 million people in the United States, 8 billion on the planet. They're not all swimming across the ocean. So there's only a finite number of people in each city. They're not reproducing. I've never seen any video of them reproducing up until I Am Legend. I Am Legend is the only one that I think has ever said that they've reproduced. I think. I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch I Am Legend. It was a fun watch. Anyway, so back to this Screen Rant. Ryan Northrup put the article together. A horror TV show with 96% Rotten Tomatoes score becomes streaming success. And it's pardon me. Says most discussion of horror, however, is usually limited to movies, and there are far fewer TV shows. American Horror Story has been going strong now since 2011, for example. Canceled Channel Zero ran for 4 seasons. Walking Dead remains popular. The rise of horror on TV really took off, however, with the rise of streaming and specifically the rise of Mike Flanagan. Flanagan brought shows like Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor, Midnight Mass, among others, to life. Streaming allows for you to push the limits. So it says it's recently with Teacup on Peacock. There's another horror show, though, that's been flying under the radar and delivering some genuine scares. This is called, where is it? From. From has become a major hit on streaming as new episodes of season 3 are released. First airing in 2022 and created by John Griffin, the MGM horror show follows the residents of a town in the U.S. who are unable to leave as they fend off the sinister threats of the forest that surrounds them. Harold Perrineau leads the show's cast as Boyd Stevens, with Catalina Sandino Moreno, Ian Bailey, David Alpe, Elizabeth Saunders also starring. From season 3, premiered in September, earning positive reviews and contributing to the show's 96% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow, if you're into the horror genre, this might be worth checking out.
Pretty good, huh? Yeah. So,
okay, wait a second here. Look at this ranking. This tells me something about it based on where Lincoln Lawyer is compared to it.
Holy cow.
And also Only Murders in the Building and Agatha All Along. Like, this is What I don't agree with on here is Lioness, but
Oh, right. Yeah. I don't quite get Lioness, but that's okay. It's a genre of movie.
it's popular. I mean, I get that, and I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with Disclaimer and High Potential or the Penguin.
Yeah. I'm not sure about, well, the Penguin is the Penguin. Um,
Oh, like from the Marvel, I
DC.
mean DC, yeah.
Yeah. Um, I don't remember Disclaimer. I don't remember High Potential. Lioness never really caught my liking, but that's okay. But Lincoln Lawyer hits it out of the park. I can't believe that it's only number 7 on there. Only Murders in the Building. That's a lot of fun writing, and the personalities riff off of each other really well, and there's a lot of on-screen
A lot
charisma.
of guest actors, and it's a
Yeah.
fun show.
I mean, it's basically highlighting the historical record of entertainment over the last 30 years.
And Martin Short is hysterically funny in that show.
We have differing perspectives. But anyway, Agatha All Along, I think, was amazing, and I really wish that they would have played it longer, but unfortunately they did not. But I don't even understand Matlock. Is that the reboot of Matlock?
It must be.
Interesting. So, From notably is the only horror show to make this list. So that right there makes it number 1, because for it to appear in the top 10
Right, that's really unusual.
of just top streaming shows. Yeah. So I'm going to end up watching at least a couple of these episodes to see if it's something that could get put into the normal stream of watching, but not everybody in ohmTown is really into horror movies. So, and I'm not even really into it. So, what From's streaming popularity means for season 4's chances? It really depends. If it stays in the top 10 like that and doesn't cost an arm and a leg, then it's going to remain.
Right. It might not be a high budget show, and if it's got quite a lot of traction, might get renewed.
And depending on the contractual obligations, MGM may lose it, right? Because if it was shopped, somebody else could buy it out from under them. And then you have this balkanized area of where you can watch it, because
you have to maneuver around multiple apps to try to find all the seasons.
Yeah, you're like buying 3 apps to chase down 4 seasons. Well, kiss my ass. I'm not interested in that. But anyway, see, and now to watch it, you have to go to MGM Plus. So Disney Plus, Apple Plus, Peacock.
I want an app that's something minus.
Yeah, really. All the minuses are right here in this show. So anyway, I won't go through this whole spiel. It's just as like they talk about their take on From's streaming performance. Is MGM holding the show back from greater success? Yeah, probably.
Probably, because a lot of people don't have MGM Plus.
Yeah. What the hell is MGM Plus? Yeah. Just license it. Get it out there. More people, blah, blah, blah.
If it was on Netflix and it's this highly rated, I think it'd probably be like number 1.
Yeah, and base your license it, but base it on performance. Don't just sit there and lock it down to this number of valuation. Go, hey, if it hits like 5 million views, then you pay us this tier and this tier and this tier. That's how a lot of industries work. Pay for performance, and you make money. They make money. The everything gets more attention. But they want this exclusivity bullshit because they think that they're going to get more. But I think that sucks, because I want to be able to watch it where I watch it. And if you think that making, $15 from me one time, because I'm going to subscribe for a month and binge the ever living bejesus out of From until there are no more. I mean, I'm going to treat this like a cup of yerba mate. I'm going to fill it up. I'm going to drink it until it's dry and then dump it. Very topical, because I'm drinking yerba mate now, along with other things. Anyway, let's move on. Next article is over in the Continuity Report. Atomic Blonde 2, Charlize Theron, or is it Charlie Theron? I don't know.
I don't think it's that.
The sequel gets disappointing update from director. Atomic Blonde 2 was put in the works a little after Charlize Theron led original came out in 2017. However, production on the sequel hasn't begun, and director David Leitch has clarified what's causing the delay. So what's taking so long? The first John Wick movie directed Atomic Blonde and was involved with its sequel as well. Produced on a budget of $30 million, the film became a box office success, grossing a scooch over $100 million worldwide. So what's holding it back? I think their name is Vansh Mehra. Put this article together for comingsoon.net. Atomic Blonde was a cool show, a cool movie. I really liked it. And so it says the director said everyone's still trying to unravel rights issues, and it had traveled from Universal to Netflix for a bit, and then now it's become a little bit of a bottleneck of too many forces working against each other to try and get it made, because it's such a great piece of IP and would be amazing to go back and revisit the world and that character. So hopefully we can get it done. This is exactly what I was talking about, right? There's too many,
Exactly. And meanwhile, it would be a hit if somebody would just make it.
Yep. But everybody, it's like a pitch meeting episode, right? Everybody is trying to be, hey, we've got this. Hey, what about this? Hey, Bill, you know what? Just make the stew. Damn it. Just get it done. But everybody thinks that they have to pee on their bush and everybody else's bush to make it their bush. Anyway, set in November 1989, the film starred Charlize Theron as an undercover MI6 agent named Lorraine Broughton. Following her mission in Berlin, multiple questions were left unanswered by the movie's end. One of those was where Broughton's loyalty really lies. So when Atomic Blonde 2 happens, it could clear up things on that end while pitting Theron's Broughton against a new enemy. There really isn't much to this article. You might be able to suss out a little bit and talk to us about it at the next episode. But let's just move on. Sound good?
Right. Sounds good.
So this one will be really quick. Mobile is where this one was aggregated into, but add Ninjago to the list of live action Lego movies we're getting. I was told that there is going to be a live action Lilo and Stitch.
I haven't seen that one. I mean, I haven't seen an article about that, I don't think.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if that's the same level as this or what, but I saw a still. Get ready to see Ninjago jump up, kick back, whip around, and spin onto the big screen again, this time with human actors. The article is over at gizmodo.com. Justin Carter, who may or may not be the son of John Carter from the Disney movie that flopped. I doubt it, but it's...
You're right. There is a live action Lilo and Stitch coming, and Disney just talked about it at D23 in Brazil.
That's where it's from. I thought I remembered. Okay, so cool. I kind of like Lilo and Stitch, but it's been a long time since I saw anything about Lilo and Stitch. The original cartoon was, 25 years ago or something like that? I can't remember. Seems to have been forever. Well, you may remember hearing a few days ago that Universal formally announced a trio of live-action Lego movies. They'll individually helmed by Patty Jenkins, Joe Cornish, Jake Kasdan. Did you find out?
Yes, it's actually 2002, so it is about 20 years ago.
Damn. Feeling old. One episode of the Continuity Report at a time. But we were all of us deceived, for it turns out there's not five, but four. Oh, damn it. Why'd they spin it that way? There's not 3, not 5, but 4 live action Lego movies in the works. This one is going to be Ninjago. No director's been revealed, but brothers Kevin and Dan Hageman, I think it is, have been tapped to write its script. The duo already have experience with the franchise since they created and executive produced the first 9 seasons of its CG series on Cartoon Network and later Netflix. As to what ground said movie will cover, that too, currently in the shadows. Dear God.
I think they're smart to make a live action and not Ninjago. Ninjago has quite a following. However, because it's run so long, like the original population has probably aged out.
Yeah, I mean, they've got their kids, but it's going to be something that their kids and the adults can experience together in nostalgia.
But everybody that watched it initially is now like a teenager or young adult because it just started in 2011. So it doesn't even have the
Oh,
range. Like with Lilo and Stitch, you have like another generation almost. But
gotcha.
this
But
one
Ninjago did
is
not.
like in between. Yeah.
Well, let's see. If they wait 6 years, I
Then
don't
they
know.
can get the kids of the originals or something.
Interesting, though. That's an interesting observation. Oh, see, so you're right. It says Ninjago first started all the way back in 2011. Well, wait. If you were 12 years old,
That's true. I guess I was thinking on the younger age range of their viewers, but you're right. If, yeah,
it's
that would work.
it's whereas Lilo and Stitch is on the far side of the new kids falling in the range of a live action movie. This is right in the sweet spot of young parents with young kids. They might be able to, you know, get the same thing. A 10-year-old at the time is now 25, might have actual kids, at the 6-year-old kind of a thing. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how any of this works. So, trained in the art of spin jitsu, the 6 ninjas protect the titular city from. I got to use it again. I get to use titular in every episode. Time traveling elemental masters and biker gangs, the normal ninja stuff. And both the toy line and the show are still ongoing and pretty popular. And back when Warner Brothers still making Lego movies, Ninjago was the brand's first and only original creation to get a theatrical film, which went on to become the series' first box office dud. But I'd have to say that the cartoons of this have been pretty damn popular.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they had multiple seasons.
But here, I posit that there really isn't enough fanfare about it. There isn't enough there to draw people into it. It's kind of like Lightyear. There's a whole thing around it, but do people really want to go see a movie about it? And do they want to see a live action anything about this?
Well, I don't know about the live action. I think there's enough of a draw for Ninjago, but I don't know for live action.
I think the story writing needs to be pretty spectacular, compelling, because the parents won't give a shit about it. And kids, they just want to see something fun and exciting, not necessarily even caring about the story, but it's live action, making it real. I don't know. It might be Uncanny Valley for the kids.
That is true.
Interesting. It'll be fun to watch. This is going to be a grand experiment. By the way, this is from Deadline, but posted over in Gizmodo. All right. Well, we're going to shut down the projector and we're going to call it a night. Thanks for watching and hanging out if you are in either Twitch or the YouTubes. And when we turn the projector back on, we're going to be at the front page of Continuity Report over at ohmtown.com. Yeah, I know about the graphics. Like I said in the other shows, we're cleaning house and trying to spruce things up, change things, make it a little bit more optimized. And one of the biggest things have been the graphics. So, wow, everything okay?
Yes, there's quite a bit of activity outside of ohmTown.
All right. Well, we'll get out of here and have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next weekend. I am Merwat, and the sentient AI is going to project a goodbye.
Good night, ohmTown citizens. Thanks for joining us for the Continuity Report. We'll have another episode of that next week, but come back tomorrow for more shows.
Yeah, and don't forget, you can download the podcast, watch us over on YouTube, all 1,500 plus episodes of our shows. The podcasts definitely have all of them as well. Stick around. We're going to keep moving on up. Bye. Now I want to go watch Ninjago for some reason.